right? Mike and Buddy. So one of the things that I just want to show you guys, we're gonna talk about the duality between passing and open guard, and then playing the guard. Okay. Whenever I'm here, right, what I want to do is I want to begin. I don't want to have my head down. I don't want to be too far. Whenever you start passing, I want to begin to pass off to the side. Most oftentimes, his legs are going to be able to hook you on the inside. It's very difficult to get on the outside of the person whose guard you're passing once they become proficient and learn how to even use their legs, feet, and so forth. Don't have them all at one level because it's too easy to do this. One high, one low, one hooking, one moving, and then weaving and circling and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So as I pass this way here, oftentimes you get in this situation where you get into somewhat a half guard or a knee shield, okay, or half guard with a knee shield, okay. So one effective way to pass is a weave, okay. We talked about leg weave from side control, leg weave from the bottom. What I want to do is I want to weave my hand right in here, either grab or post the fist, so I can begin to kill his shield. I can reach and grab that collar and use my head, and I can begin to pop up, begin to get around the shield here, and then walk around here and roll him flat, and then get into this side control where I'm controlling his hips, and even walk my hips to the right. Because whenever you get in side control, if you let them move their hips, because side control, you have to decide. You're either going to control their head or their hips. If you are too hyper-focused on this, you're not controlling their hip. Even if you have a knee there, he'll scoot out, bring a knee in, and now you're open guard. Two movements consecutive, you're already out of you're out of side control, and he's in an open. You're in an open guard. I mean, he's in an open guard. You're passing. You lost side control. Side control hard to get, easy to lose. Remember that. That's why I always tell you guys, you gotta make sure that you either go north-south or control, or even switch the base. Okay. So when you're here, if I control the hips, he can frame my head and my hip and still move his hips away, right? And then, yeah, right there, and he immediately creates a space. So you need to control more so even their hips and head, but you have to be dynamic enough to where you can actually move so that you're not stuck in one position. That's why I always say don't be on two knees per se, because here I'm a lot more dynamic. Here my elbow is on his hip, my right hip, if you notice, is on his hip, his right hip, and it's connected. I can control his head here, and I can always begin to walk my hips this way here and smash it to the side right here. As I can go on the inside here, through his legs here, I can go through here, I can go over here, and I can begin to slowly get to a mount. If anything, when you're sprawled out, instead of on your knees, I'm literally immobile here. I'm stuck. When I'm here more in a sprawl, and I'm off of one knee, if I feel him load up to begin to move, go ahead, I can begin to switch my hips. I can switch my hips. I can get the leg hook. I can go knee to the belly. I can control, and I can be dynamic. Whenever you're on two knees, also when you're passing, this right here is no good at all. Because for me to pass, I got to go inside the leg. I'm not going to go outside the leg. He's sitting here, and I have no mobility whatsoever. So if anything, you want to lead with one knee here, okay? Jam here. If he grabs my collar right here, one thing I want to do is don't let him or them or her ever or they pull your head down lower than your belt line. If he grabs the collar and he starts pulling my head, I need to lower my hips, posture up, so that I create the tension. And I'm gonna break his grip here. And then I'm gonna sit right here. Whichever way his knee dictates, if it goes on the outside here, I can begin to already go through here. If he catches me in a knee shield here, I fail to create the wedge. And if I, within the knees here, or even here, I can weave my hand through, get this collar here, and I can begin to walk around and use my head, walk out, and keep walking the hips to the right here, and continue going as you keep progressing. Get an underhook on this side here, you can slide over here, roll and slide, and so forth. So, for a leg weave pass, it's not too complicated. You start off in a half guard with knee shield here, one leg's up. Gonna go right through here. Either you cup right here, but make sure your hands don't go where the wrist can actually be bent by this leg. You want to overhook. So the bottom of your wrist, see how my wrist is all thread. My wrist is more on his thigh, so that he's pushing against the bone, not against your wrist, where it will bend, because your wrist will lose against the leg. From here, I'm gonna reach in the collar, put him into my head, spears him. As I pop up the tripod right here, I can turn my hip, walk him out this way, and then open him up like an accordion. And then from here, bring your arm over, or you can get the leg here to switch base. This is a great position, because from here I'm very dynamic. I can be here, ribs on the face, knee across. I anticipate his hand's gonna go to the knee. I can go here, and I can begin to smooth him out and really control the position nicely, because I can anticipate his reactions. That's a big part of jiu-jitsu. So we're here, you're in a knee shield here. Seldom will I be on a knee shield with two knees down. Pressure. Even here, you can roll him and get that knee up, okay? But here, let's say, grabbing me, put my head down here, but weave through here, this hand gets the collar here, get my head on the inside, pop up, and now I straighten my right arm. From here, I can back it up this way, get around that bottom hook, walk this way here, and then roll them out flat right here. Stretch them out, and from here even, hook the leg, switch the base, ribs on the face. And very important to wedge this hip. If you're here and his hips can move, he can turn into you. That's not good. You need to be able to wedge this right there and start kind of using it just to control his lower hip as you create the space here. Slide the knee over, get the underhook, and pass. Let's do one more time. Like that one. So we're here, this hand. You can cup it, or you can just put the fist right on the mat right here. Spear the head, left hand around the collar, drive, and you pop up to a tripod. He may try to hook the bottom leg, but I can begin to weave it through here, switch here, switch here, switch the base here, and roll him up, get that knee across. Yeah, because he's here versus here. It's easier for him to reach your knee. When you go all the way across here, it'll open up that space for the underhook. And then you're able to slowly, potentially mount, but I keep this hook and staple his legs together. Because in the worst case, if he starts turning into you, you can always go back to the knee. And then you can always go back, side control, and then restart your mounting process right here. The worst thing, one last thing I'll go over with that way, is controlling this arm. If he moves his arm through on the inside, I gotta go belly down, go north south. So as I'm here, and here, and you see how you underhook right there, I'm not gonna be able to mount. So my right hand now has to block his hip, and I have to go north south right here, preferably with the hip on the face. And he hooked it there. I can't mount because he'll take advantage of that. So I'm going to let go of the hook, block the hip, and now I begin to roll the hips on the face, and then maybe go back to here and hook it and mount. And so, all right? So leg move. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, John.